Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sadeja Divine, and you're watching Deja Divine Daily. Today, we're going to be talking about 3 ways that journalism can revolutionize your life, literally. So we're going to hop right into our scripture for this video, and it is coming from Psalms 31:7, and it reads, "I will be glad and rejoice in your mercy, for you have considered my troubles. You have known my soul and adversities." And that is perfect for today's topic because let me tell you right now, Jesus is the best journal that I could ever have. Whenever I'm worried, whenever I'm anxious, I just be talking to him. I be talking to him like he is my diary. Sometimes when I write in my entries, I'm writing to my Lord or I'm giving thanks to my Lord. So it really just, resonates for me as in like the Lord can be your diary. The Lord is your diary. He will always listen to you. He will always be there for you. And he actually truly cares. Unlike some people who will pretend they care and they literally don't. I'm not going to lie to you. Me and journaling and diarying goes way, way back to like the 3rd grade, the 5th grade when I could barely write for real, barely like even comprehend what I was writing because I do have dyslexia. But I would be journaling to myself. I'd be writing to myself about my day and whatnot. And I kind of like fell off for a long period of time, like all throughout middle school and most of high school. I was not journaling at all. But then I hopped back into it in my college days. And I'm just telling you right now, like it is such a helpful tool to just release like all of the things that be going on in life. And for me, not gonna lie, I am a big fat yapper. I love to talk. I can talk for 24 hours, for 30 hours straight. Like I like to meet people and talk to people and just, hear what they have to say. And like, I just even like to like, just talk like, and not everyone is like that. But when you have a journal, you can just talk to yourself. There's no judgment. There's no one watching you. In fact, you're just releasing your emotions just for yourself. So if no one ever tells you in your life to pick up a journal, I'm telling you to pick up a journal, a diary, a sketchbook, whatever is up your alley, because it is such a helpful tool. Moving into the first thing that journaling can help you with. Journaling can help you remember your good days and your bad days. I mentioned, about gratitude. I'm really big on gratitude. But when you have a journal, you literally have your days written out in ink, or you have it typed up, or if you have a sketch or something, you made notes on it. You haven't written down what you're feeling in that moment, why you're feeling it, what you're going through, what you liked about something, what you didn't like about something. And I'm telling you right now, like our brain cannot hold all that information. It just cannot store everything that happens in our life. And sometimes something will happen, and if it's traumatic or if it's hurtful to you, you won't want to remember it. You want to like lock it into a vault somewhere and just forget about it. But that begets more troubles and more worries. And like when you suppress your trauma, it's going to come back up, usually in ways that you don't like. So when you're journaling and you're writing about your days, day in and day out, you'll come to see that, okay, sometimes I'll have a bad day and sometimes I might have a good day. Sometimes I might have a mediocre day, and that's okay. But for me, when you're journaling, it can use it as a tool to go back and reflect on your bad days or your good days. I usually use it as a tool to more so reflect on my good days. If I'm feeling down or if I'm feeling low or sad about something, I will go look at my journal and figure out a day that I was just in an absolutely stunning mood. Everything was going right. And I was just, high on life. So I will go back and read one of those entries and remind myself like, hey, things might be hard right now, but that's okay. Because remember when you had that good day, you're going to have another good day again. Like I say frequently, for one bad day, there's 1,000 good days coming, and it's a good remembrance of that. Or even when you have a hard or bad day, it's also important to reflect on those days too, because what made that day hard? What made that day sad for you? What made that day bad for you? And then you can go back when like in the future and see like, okay, like back in the day that used to worry me, that used to make my life really hard. That would be something that would just ruin my whole day. But now, that wouldn't even faze me. That wouldn't even touch me. So for example, back in the day, I had like, I have financial worries still, but back in the day, I was really, really stressed over my finances. Like if anything happened that wasn't in the trajectory that I wanted it to be in, I would start flipping out, freaking out, anxiety through the roof and all these things just because of my past experience with finances and what that all comes with. But now I've kind of moved on from that. I've turned a new leaf, if you would say. And when I'm having a hard day, usually it's not tied into finances. But sometimes I'll go back and read those entries when I was just so worried about money, so worried about how am I going to pay this? How am I going to do this? How can I get the things that I want? And I'll be like, wow, look at your headspace then and look at your headspace now. You've come so far. You've grown so much. So it's really a good tool to see, wow, I've really grown in areas. And vice versa. If you haven't grown in that area, that's okay. But you can see, okay, I've been dealing with this. I've been struggling with this for a year, for a couple months, for X, Y, and Z. And it started at this time. What happened in that time? Did something different happen? Did I lose a friend? Did I lose a loved one? Did my eating habits change? Did I stop working out? It's easier to pinpoint the changes that improve your life and that also, diminish your life in a sense. So journaling is a great way to keep track of your milestones, even the little ones. Like the little milestones matter, and it helps you realize what they are, even if you can't see it in that time, in that area, in that space. When you go back maybe in a year or 5 years, you'll be like, wow, I should be so proud of myself that I've become X, Y, and Z, or that I've handled my trauma differently, or that I can speak about it now. And let me tell you one thing, okay? When people think about journaling, they usually think about a pen and paper, writing things out, like they think about a typical journal. But think outside the box, because there's no box to begin with. A journal can be in so many different forms. I know that a way that I used to journal is I will take a whole bunch of photos, because I'm really big on photos, because photos can say like 1,000 words or whatever. So I'll take a photo and then I'll write on the back of the photo how I felt in that moment, what I liked about that moment, who I was with, and then put it into an album. And then that way it's like a photo album, but I actually have, letters written to myself or the memories written out in detail. So I'm like, okay, the picture, and then I see that thing on the back. If you love to draw, get your sketchbook out and then, draw whatever you would like to draw. And as you're drawing, what are the emotions flowing through your mind? How does drawing make you feel? As whatever you're stroking with the pen, the pencil, the paintbrush, how does it make you feel? And write that down under or behind your picture. Like, as I'm drawing, I feel X, Y, and Z. I'm drawing today because I felt like it was a bad day. I'm drawing today because I saw the sun and it made me so happy because I'm such a big nature person. Let me think. Even if you like to do videos, you can record videos to yourself and have a video diary and just have messages to yourself like, hey, look at this in 10 years. Hey, look at this in a week. Look at this at X, Y, and Z if you don't like to write things down the traditional way. The journal that I use, or the diary that I use, is called My Diary, and it's available on iPhones and I believe Androids as well. And it's an online diary that it syncs up to your iCloud. So whatever phone you have or whatever, like as you switch your phones and as you switch through things, you can log onto it and you'll see all your entries and it backs it up for you. You can also insert pictures into it, which I love because I'm a really big picture person. And then you can also insert voice memos. They just added this and I am in love with it because I, like I said, like to talk. So I will literally just be talking to myself on my diary. I'll wake up and talk to my phone about the 3 things I'm grateful for. And I'll talk about my whole day and then add the pictures in as well. You can change the background. You can change the layout. Mine is pink, of course, but all of that, it makes it so easy and so synchronized. But I know a lot of people who don't like the digital aspect of it, so they'll stick to a pen and paper. But there are so many different ways that you can journal or have a diary that's unique to you. You just have to figure out what you like and what you're most comfortable with. So yeah, reason 1 is that journaling can help you remember your good days, your bad days, and the days in between. And it can also help you keep up with your milestones and how much you've really grown. Because sometimes it's hard to tell, especially if you're having a bad day. And speaking on growth, going into reason 2, it helps with your emotional intelligence, your emotional IQ, and really processing through the hard things. When you are, actively expressing your emotions, getting your emotions out and not keeping it bottled up and pent up, it's helping you to grow. It's going to help you to understand other people's emotions. It's going to help you to have empathy and be sympathetic to others. I'm not going to say I used to be cold-hearted, but I was not as intact with my emotions about like maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I've really worked on that, and journaling is one of the ways that it's helped me work on it, because when I'm writing, as I'm writing things out, I'm like, okay, this feeling is not anger and it's not sadness, so what is it? It makes me dig deep into, okay, what am I really feeling and why am I feeling that way? And when you can pick up on those emotions within yourself, it's a lot easier to keen in on it when other people are talking to you, when a stranger's talking to you, or when you're in a relationship. Like, it's easier to pick up on that because you're not just bottling everything up inside and just not expressing it, or only expressing it in unhealthy ways such as violence and anger and things like that. It's so important to have a balance of emotional intelligence as well as logical intelligence. I feel like before I would lean a lot on my like logical intelligence, but now I'm able to see things in like both sides of it, because at the end of the day, we have a heart and we have a mind. So even if we know that the logical thing's the best thing to do, sometimes it's hard to push through our emotions, to push past our flesh, because our emotions can be strong. So yeah, it's really just important to do that and to grow your emotional intelligence so that you can become not only a better person, but to understand others better. Because at the end of the day, we don't live in this world alone. We're going to have interactions with people, managers, friends, acquaintances, potential boyfriends, spouses, girlfriends. Like, you're going to have interactions with others, and it's important to pick up on their emotions because everyone's emotions matters. And lastly, journaling can help you understand yourself and your mind more deeply. I know that kind of sounds like silly, because it's like you would think, I know myself, like it's me. I know my thoughts when they come, like I'm me, so I should know myself. But on a deeper level than that, when you're actually writing your feelings and emotions out, you begin to understand your triggers. Not only your triggers, but like, why do you feel the way you feel? Like, where did that come from? When did you start that shift? Was it when you was 10 years old that I expressed my anger in this way? Was it when you was 15, when something traumatic happened to you and you started expressing yourself in a different way? Like, what exactly is going on in your mind when you feel happiness, when you feel gratitude? I know for me, when I'm journaling and I'm writing about, oh my gosh, I had such a good day today, I'm so happy, I ask myself, okay, what exactly am I happy about? And how did I show that in my life? I feel like a lot of the time it's so easy to get wrapped up in like the next thing, the next motion, the next like way you're feeling, and then to forget about what happened previously. Especially because I said, like, life is moving so fast, there are a lot of things happening. This world is very overstimulating, so it's easy to forget. But when you're actually sitting down and taking time with yourself, your emotions, and your mind, you get a way better understanding of what you do when you have these emotions, how these emotions can arise in certain issues, so that you can be keen on it for the next instance that it will happen. And it's so important to dig through that, because sometimes, speaking personally, I can be a reactive person and I will make like a decision that I'll later on regret. And as I'm journaling, I'll be like, okay, what pushed me to that reactive point? And why did I choose to make that decision? And then I can avoid doing it in the future, because at the end of the day, like, I want to better myself. I'm always moving to do better and to be better. So when I'm writing those emotions out and those feelings out, I can catch myself easier in the future. And that's important for my new encounters, for the new people I meet, and even the friendships that I've already grown, or the relationships that I've already established, to keep them and to hold on to them, because I want to be sensitive. I want to know that, okay, I can control my emotions. And even when I'm in a flustered situation, or a situation that seems like it's unbeatable, okay, I've acknowledged that feeling. A lot of the times, if you are not that in tune with yourself, or if there's too much going on, you can't even acknowledge the feeling that you're feeling. Or even worse, sometimes you don't even know what you're feeling, because you can't explain it. But when you're journaling, you can take time aside and just sit with that. And there's no pressure, there's no time, and you're doing it in the way that you love. So it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, I gotta do self-help, I gotta do self-work and self-growth. Like, no, it's a fun activity. And speaking on fun, it's a perfect way to just like take yourself out on a self date and go sit somewhere that you like. If you like a coffee shop, or if you want to go see a movie and take pictures of the movie and then write down, okay, this character felt like this in this moment, and I can relate to that because at one point in my life I felt like that too. It's a great way to just get out and be like, okay, like, let me journal. And you can even do it with a buddy. Like, it's a great way to just express yourself and then be in an environment where, okay, I feel safe in this environment and I actually want to do this. So once again, I'm here to say, if no one have ever told you about journaling or diarying or expressing yourself in a way that's creative and fun, go ahead and just give it a try. Pick it up. Maybe start with a minute every week, and then go up to 3 minutes every week, maybe 3 minutes every day. Like, I have grown into like actually doing it every day. But before, I was not doing it every day, just when I was feeling overwhelmed or whenever I actually had the time to pick it up and do it, because I was like doing a whole bunch of stuff. We all have a lot going on in life. But just pick it up and give it a try. Like, I'm telling you right now, I don't think you'll regret it. And then not only that, it's a way for you to express yourself and feel free and not have to worry about no judgment. It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you learn yourself. It's going to help you with your emotional integrity, with your emotional growth and IQ. All of these things can just happen by you talking to yourself in some form that you like. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope that you learned something today. I hope that you might think about journaling or think about a way that you can express yourself creatively and have it written down and on record so that you can actually look back at something. Because we cannot retain all the things that happen in life. We cannot retain all that information. Our brain just cannot do it. So it's a great way to be able to look back and reflect. Thank you guys so much once again for coming and watching this video, sticking with me to the end. I hope that I'll see you very soon, and have a great week, month, year, moment, minute, and day. I'll see you guys next time on my next video. Bye.